Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, and boy, have I got a disc for you. I was alerted to its presence by my very, very good friend, Christophe Huss, the music critic at Le Devoir in Montreal. He called me up and he said, Dave, have I got a disc for you? Have you seen it yet? Have you heard it yet? It's really, really great. And I hadn't because there's no way to tell when anything's going to actually get released. You just have to hope that it's around the same time as it shows up in other territories. But happily, no sooner had he hung up the phone than a lovely little box arrived on my front door, courtesy of our dear friends at Naxos. And there it was. And boy, was he right. And I always trust Christophe because he has great taste, number one, and true musicality, and he's smart, and he has this fabulous ability to search out the nooks and crannies of the repertoire for the really interesting items. And between us, there's a small group of us, we all talk to each other, we critics. And so between us, we sort of have the industry more or less covered. We figure out what's coming and what may be particularly interesting. And we can talk about how we're all going to write about it or talk about it or do something to promote it, because if we don't do it, nobody will. That's the bottom line. And this is one of those discs, one of those sleeper discs that you'll probably never even know existed, and you will shoot yourself if you don't hear it. I mean, it's so much fun. I can't even tell you how much fun it is. This Villa-Lobos Choral Transcriptions. Who even knew he was making choral transcriptions, right? It's with the Sao Paulo Symphony Choir, conducted by Valentina Pelleggi. Wow, is this fun? I mean, it's so much fun. Wait till I tell you what's on it, and we're going to listen to batches of it, because the hearing is believing. That what Villa-Lobos apparently, is part of his many other activities, made transcriptions for a cappella choir of certain works. Now, some of these things were fairly predictable. They are Bach transcriptions. Villa-Lobos was a lot like Bach. The thing about Bach is that Bach's sense of music was one of permanence. Bach wrote permanent music. In other words, it doesn't make any difference what it's arranged for or how you play it. Its musical qualities always shine through. There's an essential permanence, that's the only word, to everything that Bach did. A lack of contingent factors. I mean, the universe could end and musical instruments could disappear, and as long as something existed that could make a noise, it could play Bach and the music would be great. I think that's one of the qualities that Villa-Lobos admired in him. It's one of the qualities I admire in him, for sure. And so it's not surprising that Villa-Lobos made some Bach transcriptions for a cappella choir. But what did he transcribe? Let us find out, shall we? Well, it turns out that all of these transcriptions come from the well-tempered clavier. They are not vocal music. They have nothing to do with vocal music, and they are transcribed with phenomes, not words, just, phenomes, doo-dah, wop, wop, hick, hick, hoo, 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 that kind of stuff. Syllables of various kinds. And we get, let's see, the prelude and fugue number 8 in E flat minor, D sharp minor, BWV 853. And the fugue number 1 from the well-tempered clavier, the easy one. Da, 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 ba, ba, ba. See, that's my transcription for a cappella me. And that's in there. And there's the fugue number 21, and the prelude number 22 in B flat minor, and the prelude number 14 in F sharp minor, and the fugue number 5 in D major. And it's all super cool. I'm going to play you a bit of the prelude number 14 in F sharp minor. Boy, what a wonderfully lush and romantic thing it sounds like when arranged for a cappella choir. This is so cool. Listen to this. It's just marvelous. Terrific, huh? And, when you listen to this, the choir is not exactly, the RAIS Kammerchor. This is not, it has its rough edges, especially the male voices, but, it doesn't make any difference. They're doing a terrific job, and this cannot possibly be easy. These are not simple arrangements. But the Bach stuff, we've heard lots of Bach arrangements. The Swingle Singers did it. And, the last sort of wonderful choral group that did these kinds of transcriptions was Accentus on Naive. Remember, they did a couple discs of transcriptions that included things like the Adagietto from Mahler's Fifth Symphony and the song Ich bin der Welt abhanden gekommen and other things by Bach and Chopin and Wolf and all kinds of different composers. But those were mostly very slow, with an emphasis toward kind of sacred-y music. They did the Barber Adagio as an Agnus Dei, that kind of stuff, right? Well, Villa-Lobos was not so constrained, let me put it to you that way, because in addition, you get Mendelssohn's Songs Without Words, Book 2, number 9 in E major, and Schumann's Traumerei, which is, that's a dreamy and slow number, and Schubert's Ständchen with the words arranged in Portuguese, where they sound just terrific, and Massenet's Elegie with the words arranged in Portuguese, and then we get the wild stuff, and that's what makes this disc so much fun. Yes, there is a chunk of the slow movement of Beethoven's Pathetique Piano Sonata, which might have been predictable, but less predictable is the Chopin Waltz number 7 in C-sharp minor. He didn't just do like a Chopin nocturne or some droopy, dreamy thing. No. He decided to do the Waltz number 7 in C-sharp minor, and holy cow! Listen to this. extraordinary. That's just extraordinary. It's amazing. And it sounds harder than hell to sing. But as if that weren't enough, there's more. There's more. Because Villa-Lobos also did, here it is, get ready, the Rachmaninoff prelude in C sharp minor. Oh my God, one of the few piano pieces I actually played. And I was dying to see how he would handle, the middle section. That weird chromatic in triplets, and the climax, which is pure pianism. It's really just a cadenza. Well, he doesn't so much do the cadenza, which was a smart thing, but so there's a little extra nipping and tucking going on in making the arrangement. But holy cow, what a wonderfully bizarre piece he makes of it, as done by the a cappella choir. Here is a chunk of it. Listen to this. You're not going to believe this. It's incredible. I mean, it's worth getting the disc just to hear that. It truly is. And I mean, if you don't want the whole disc, you can download the bits you want, but I just get the whole thing. Just get the whole thing. You're really going to listen to it. It is so much fun. It is a party record in the best sense. It's a party when you're not even with anybody. It's a solo party if you're home alone. And in addition to all of that stuff, you also get Villa-Lobos' own arrangement of the Bachianas Brasileiras number 9, because as you may know, that exists in two versions, one for strings and one for a cappella choir. So it's quite well sung as well, again by the Sao Paulo Symphony Choir under Valentina Paleggi. Oh my God, is this fun. I mean, we live in a time where we're getting just another Beethoven fifth, or, I mean, it's still coming. All the stuff we've heard a billion times before. And then there's stuff we get that is unusual repertoire, but the reason it's unusual is because it's garbage, and there was no reason to record it in the first place. And much as we all love to hear the unusual, there's a reason a lot of that stuff has remained buried for all these years and did not deserve to be disinterred, if you know what I mean. So I just think it's wonderful when you find a disc of unusual repertoire by a major composer that is truly, truly unique and special and extraordinary. And what's more, it's based on familiar music that we all know that treats it from an entirely different and fascinating angle. I mean, this disc has everything. Absolutely everything that makes it collectible. And that's what we're really talking about. Stuff that you'll want to collect and own and have and pet and stroke and love and make part of your collection for the foreseeable future, and that you could haul out and listen to for itself and just enjoy it for the fabulous light it sheds on familiar masterpieces, but also that you can like sit around with a crowd and your friends and say, listen to this. It's amazing, because it is amazing. So Villa-Lobos Choral Transcriptions. What an incredible project, and so beautifully realized by the participants. I'm totally thrilled that this came out, and I thank you, Christoph, for telling me that it was coming, for bringing it to my attention so that I could bring it to your attention. You should all be reading Le Devoir if you read French, to read Christoph's reviews there, because they're really great. But in the meantime, Villa-Lobos Choral Transcriptions. Get it, own it, listen to it, keep on listening. Thank you for joining me. Take care.